everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 50.
Woo!
I'm Andrew Eisen. With me is Zachary Knight. Hello, Zachary.
Hello, Andrew. How are you doing?
Memorial Day weekend. Doing fine.
Do you have Monday off?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Yes, I do. So that's nice. I've been between video games, been cleaning my my place. And I thought, I need to let's do a full clean. So I'm like literally vacuuming my couch. I dust and vacuum and clean the bathroom and kitchen and stuff, every weekend. But I don't, pull the cushions off the couch or move the entire couch so I can vacuum under it. That's not a very frequent thing for me. So I've been missing one of my hand towels for a while, and I found it in the couch. It was just stuffed in the corner. I'm like, how did it even get there? When did I have a hand towel over on the couch? I must have been like working out right here in the middle of the living room and just for some reason draped a hand towel like over the back of the couch, which is not a good place to put a sweaty towel. And then it just fell and then got stuffed into the couch cushions.
Yeah, that's you don't fold your laundry or anything on your couch because that's how things. I've got kids, so that's how everything gets into my couch. But some people sit on their couch and fold laundry while they're watching TV. But is that you? Do you do that?
No, my laundry goes into the bedroom and I dump it out on my bed and I fold it from there. Or I hang most of my clothes because I really suck at folding. So. Matthew makes a good point. He says, Andrew, while I understand your disappointment over Monster Hunter, the Switch is the only reason we get to play Monster Hunter on our TVs. A little context here is Capcom announced, as we all suspected, a version of Monster Hunter XX, not quite Triple X. We're almost there.
That's for Brazier to take care of.
Yeah, so it's an expanded version of what our version is called Monster Hunter Generations. So there's going to be a new 3DS and Switch game. Basically, if you remember Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii, and then there was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, or more recently, Monster Hunter 4 and Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. So it's an expanded version of the game. It's hitting the Switch. Hooray. As we also might have expected, it's not a graphical powerhouse. It's not made specifically for the Switch. It's made for the Switch and the 3DS. And the base game is a 3DS game. So the Switch version is the 3DS game just up-resed and with better texture filtering. And that's about it.
And I guess they remove the second screen functionality. I don't know how much the 3DS version uses both screens.
The bottom screen on the 3DS version is mostly map, and there's some controls you can do by tapping a certain area of the screen, but that's going to be handled with buttons. I think your Hunter Arts or something is like an area of the touchscreen that you tap. Something is on the screen that you have to tap, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Now they've moved it to like a ZR or something, which I think will work a lot better.
Okay.
So what Matthew is saying is that the Switch is the only reason we get a console. In other words, if the Switch was not a portable console, we probably wouldn't have Monster Hunter on it. And that's probably true. It's sad to say, because Monster Hunter is extraordinarily popular as a portable game. Unfortunately, I hate playing it. I as much as I love Monster Hunter, I genuinely can't stand playing it on the handheld. That's me though. A lot of people do not have that problem. But though it doesn't look as good as it could, Monster Hunter is still awesome. And the last one I really played was 3 Ultimate on the Wii U, so I'm excited to play more Monster Hunter, even though it's on a new system and it looks, just from visual quality standpoint, looks the same level of quality as the one on the Wii U, which was about the same level of quality as the one on the Wii, just again a higher resolution. So,
I still haven't played the Monster Hunter games, and the main reason I haven't pick them up is because they don't have local multiplayer, at least not good local multiplayer. I think they only had like arena battles or something like that for the Wii, and you could play online with up to 4 people, but if you wanted to play local, it was just the arena battles. You couldn't play the story mode or anything locally and with a second player, and that always annoyed me.
Well, the nice thing about
Play with my kids, so
yeah. Well, Monster Hunter, you can play it on even the Wii and the Wii U version. You can play online with other people. The Switch one is going the extra mile in that with the Switch, you can have local play if everyone has their own Switch with them. So kind of a LAN party, so to speak,
yeah.
without cables. But over the internet, you can play with other people, but you can also play with other people who are playing on the 3DS. So 3DS players and Switch players can all play with each other. That's pretty cool. It means nothing for me because I'm a solo hunter. I don't hunt with others.
Yeah.
That's just how I play the game. And it's funny because I love my AI hunting companions, Cha-Cha and Kayamba. I love those two little goofballs, but I don't want any real people with me. It's why I don't like Journey, because all the other people can sod off. Leave me alone. With your stupid chirping at me, go away. Don't make me reset. I will unplug my PS3 from the internet. Go away. Yeah, I'm excited for Monster Hunter. I really enjoy the game, and I'll definitely be getting it for Switch when I have a Switch and when it costs $50 or less. Someone asked me something. 13U Cube says, if I got a copy of Breath of the Wild on Wii U for $39, would you buy it? That is going to, again, that's going to depend on how much the DLC ends up, well, I mean, what the DLC ends up being, because if I want to buy the DLC, that's $20, and 39 plus 40 is 60, and that's more than I'm willing to pay for any individual video game. So no, but I'll be getting Breath of the Wild on the Switch anyway. It's slightly better on the Switch. Slightly higher resolution, slightly better frame rate, slightly better, still better. So I'll get the Switch at some point. So that's where I'll get Breath of the Wild eventually.
Man, Breath of the Wild is just, it amazes me. I've been reading all kinds of articles about people doing just the weirdest things, trying to throw a chicken into Death Mountain and stuff like that. And then just the other day, I read an article.
Let me see if I can get an NPC to follow me to the other side of the map.
There's stuff like that.
Okay,
and
sure.
It's like there was somebody who tried to take a priestess from some village and take her into the middle of Hyrule Castle, into Ganon's lair, and he used like 20 crates to create little mazes that broke her pathfinding AI and just kind of forced her slowly, ever so slowly, towards the Hyrule Castle. And he got her like into the castle, but some monster spawned, and which he tried to defeat, but it ended up drawing him too far away from the NPC, and she hightailed it back to her town, but so he didn't quite make it. And I'm just like, that is one of the most off the wall weirdest things I've ever seen somebody do. And it's just like, man, you guys are amazing.
Matthew's also surprised that I like Monster Hunter since it's a co-op game through and through, because beating giant monsters with a big stick is fun. I just don't want to. I want to beat them by myself. I don't want to play with other people. I hate doing that. But that's just me. For me, video games is private time. That's okay. I'm going to retreat into my space and do my thing. Some people like to read books or meditate. I play video games, and for me, video games is a private, personal thing. I don't like playing with others, but that's just how I play video games. He also points out that Breath of the Wild runs better on the undocked. Right, it's because when it's When it's in handheld mode, it's a lower resolution, so the frame rate's a little bit better. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to play it on handheld or undocked. So still, even
Yeah.
docked, the frame rate is a little bit more stable than the Wii U. So there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but well, you like playing games solo. It's just,
mhm.
I've got a family, so I don't get solo video game
Yeah,
time. So, I've got, except for like at night after everybody goes to bed, but it's like at that point I'm kind of tired myself and don't feel like playing much of anything, but everything I've got is either T or under. I think the worst stuff I've got is Devil May Cry, but I set my PlayStation 3's parental controls to lock that from the kids. But yeah, everything else, I'm like, whatever. If I have time and I feel like kicking them off the TV, I'll play games. But yeah, but most of the time, I these days I think I spend more time playing games on my PSP or my PC than I do console games, and so. But eventually, I'll run out of PlayStation One classics to play on my PSP,
mm,
and then I'll have to look for something else to do mobile wise because I've played all of my DS games, and I haven't picked up any new DS games in a long time. At least not ones that I want to play. I've picked up a few for my kids at garage sales and thrift stores, but um, nothing I want to play. I need to pick up. I really want to get Dragon Quest 5, 6, and 7, uh, but I think those are all on the DS.
I believe
I think
so. Yeah.
7 might be a
Seven's a
3DS,
remake,
but
I believe. Seven, yeah, I think that's 3D.
yeah,
4, 5, and 6
yeah,
were
because
on the DS though.
okay, because yeah, I want to get 5, 6, and 7 because those are the only ones that I haven't played. Well, except for 8, I've got 8. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet for the PS2. Um, but yeah, I really want to play 5, 6, and 7 though because I've never played them at any point, any length of
Yeah,
time.
I've never played 5, 6, or 7, so I
Uh,
did get to play 8 though, and 9, and 10's an MMO, so I don't care.
yeah,
um,
exactly.
Nightmare Ninja is wondering, should I get the new Monster Hunter game? Yeah, if you can play, it's a hard game to demo. But Matthew's advised you like fighting giant monsters that are fairly long and challenging. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like Shadow of the Colossus in that sense. The game is pretty much go find a giant monster and wail on it until it stops moving, and
Yeah,
then you carve bits off of it, and you use the bits you carve to create better weapons and armor to go beat bigger, better monsters with. The one thing
yeah,
I have to caution everyone of, and I haven't played, I don't know if Generations or Double X or whatever they're calling it is the same way I'd imagine it is. These games are really slow to start because they're very complicated, and they take it's a good 5 hours to get to the good stuff, and that is asking a lot of any gamer to, okay, it gets good in 5 hours, but until then you're going to be running around in your underwear mining ore so that you can get materials to craft enough stuff and learn the mechanics of the system, mining, bug catching, gathering, and all this crap. So just be aware that you're going to want to give yourself a Saturday to sit down and really give this game a chance if you're serious about investing time. It's not
yeah,
I'll try this for a few minutes. No, this is not a game you try for a few minutes. Clear an afternoon, sit down and let it wash over you. Um, Also, that's how I play a game. I'm not a casual gamer in the sense that I don't. It's like, oh, I'll play a game for 20 minutes. No, no. If I don't have at least 2 hours to play, I just don't play. That's me. I want to sit and play games for a while. That's how I do it. I mean, it's like how if you only have 20 minutes, you're not going to watch a movie because movies are usually an hour and a half or something.
yeah,
If I only have 20 minutes, I'm not going to play a video game because the types of games I like are ones that you can sit and play for a while. I mean, if it was,
yeah,
I guess, Pokemon Picross or something, yeah, sure. But Jordan says is mocking me, saying quoting me, saying I don't like multiplayer, which he says really means I don't like people. eh. Now, what's interesting is while I don't like playing video games with other people, I don't mind playing games in front of an audience, like on the streams I do for the charity thing, or if my mom or sister are over and they'll be on the couch with me and we'll chat and play the game together. I don't like, so I guess it's not, I don't mind playing games with other people. I mind playing games with other people in them. I want to
Yeah.
be the only one in my game space. I don't want anyone else in there. Stop. Get out of my game. This is my place. This is my house. Everyone out. That, I think that's a bit more accurate to describe how I approach games. So,
Okay.
and Matthew's also pointing out that you can't find a Switch anywhere in the U.S. Tis true.
Not true, because I saw two Switches
Did you?
at Target the other day, and I'm not going to buy one right now, but I saw one, and one was the silver version, the other one was the blue and red neon version, and so yeah, they are out there. You just got to be
Huh.
lucky. I was just,
Yeah.
I had to run to the bank, but the bank was not open yet. So, but Target was, so I was like, okay, I'll go kill 20 minutes at Target, and then pop back over to the bank, and while I was there, I saw they had two Switches in there, and it's like, man, so if you really want to switch, you got to get to the stores early, and this was a Tuesday, so.
That's when Target gets their
So
shipment.
yeah, Target usually gets their shipments, the day before, and so that's when they've stocked everything. So now you got to know when the stores stock stuff, and then you got to get there right at opening, and or else you're probably gonna miss it. If you wait until the afternoon or later in the week, yeah, you're not gonna get one. But just ask, like go to your local Walmart, Best Buy, Fry's, Target, whatever, and say, hey, when do your shipments come in, and when do you stock the shelves with new shipments, and they'll tell you, and you just write that down and show up the next morning and check to see if they got one. You're not going to find a NES Classic Edition that way though, because those are all gone. Sorry, guys. But one of these days, I'll find an NES Classic Edition at a garage sale, and
Sale or something. Yeah.
yeah, but
That seems like an odd product to actually sell at a garage sale. I mean, that's going to be way in the future, I think. But who knows?
yeah,
So I finished Wonderful 101, and I went to my
nice.
shelf of unplayed games. And I think I mentioned last week, I was thinking about continuing on my platinum tear and trying Vanquish. But instead, I went back further and decided to play Red Steel 2 for the Wii, which I think might have been the first Wii Motion Plus game, um, one that
I think
required
so.
Wii Motion Plus.
One of
Uh,
the earliest ones, yeah.
so basically, it is you are a samurai cowboy with a gun in one hand and a sword and a katana in the other. Actually, he has the katana and the gun in the same hand. I guess he just kind of trades off. You would think he pulls up the gun with one hand and has the sword in the other, but no, he just kind of switches between them. Same
Well,
hand.
he,
I guess
he needs to just invest in a gun blade from Final Fantasy
there you
VIII.
go. He's probably just junk with his left. It's like Gene Wilder's character in Blazing Saddles. See this? Steady as a rock. Yeah, but I shoot with this hand. Um, Blazing Saddles.
That's
Show it to
great.
your kids. It's a great movie. Um, so I played the first Red Steel at E3 back in 2006. And that was when we found out that Ubisoft had lied to us with their bull shots. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they had shown off some screen captures, some very heavily doctored screenshots of Red Steel. And Red Steel was an okay game. It's a first person shooter. It's fine. This one is a first person sword sword swinger game with some shooting, although shooting doesn't do you a whole heck of a lot of good. Most of the time I use the gun, I'm just shooting boxes and crates and stuff because everything in this world explodes into money. Uh, oil drums, wooden boxes and crates that are stacked all over the place, cardboard boxes, chairs, potted plants, tables, uh, empty bottles. Everything you shoot just pops and it has coins all over the
So
place.
it's like a Lego game with a more mature theme. Because in Lego games, everything you break explodes into
Yes,
studs.
I didn't think of that, but that's exactly, and that's one of the cathartic things about the Lego games. You just punch things and they explode into jewels, and they go, and that wonderful sound effect that Lego has, that almost change jingle, like a
Yeah.
pocket full of loose change that jingles when you collect studs in the Lego games. Such a satisfying sound. It's the same thing in Red Steel. It's got a really great aesthetic. It's got this light steampunk Wild West kind of aesthetic. Uh, it got a great soundtrack, um, and the game kind of leads you by the nose a little bit. You have a mini map, and it's always telling you where you're heading next. So it's not really, but then again, it only shows you a portion of the map at one time, so it's really easy to get lost and nothing's marked. So I'm kind of glad they do that. Otherwise, I'd wander in circles, wondering where the hell I was in relation to anything else.
Yeah.
As far as the motion controls go, I end up having to put the armrest on my chair up so that I have free reign to swing my arm. And so it's swing horizontal, swing vertical, and stabby. And it's not how I want to play the game, but to be fair, it works for the most part, and the enemies are designed with motion controls in mind. In fact, if this played like a regular game with button inputs, you would just mop the floor with everyone because everyone is a lot telegraphs their moves and is a lot more deliberate and slower so that you can actually respond and swing your sword around. And if you get good at it and you pay attention to how it works, you can feel like kind of a badass because you can knock someone in the air, jump them, and slam them on the ground, and then run someone through into a spinny thing, and then dash all over the place and run another guy through. So it can be really cool. I'm really very much enjoying Red Steel 2. I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10. 6.5. It's not a great game, but
How
it's
dare you rate the game without playing the whole thing all the way through?
yes. Okay, so a 6.5 so far. Um and I've put about, I don't know, 5 hours into it, something like that. No idea how long the
Okay.
game is. I'm guessing it's
Yeah.
probably not that long.
Probably
But
15 hours,
it's
maybe at
it's
the
kind of
most.
it's a junk food game, a potato chip game. You know, potato chips are not like, oh my god, potato chips are no, but you will eat the entire bag because it's just comforting, right? Same thing
Yeah.
with this. It's just it's not the greatest game ever, but it's just comforting. It's fun to play. It's a pleasant afternoon just wandering around, exploding crates into money, and shooting and stabbing dudes. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, Red Steel 2. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Do I own
Nice.
Xenoblade Chronicles X yet? No, I have enough unplayed games that I'm kind of waiting on that one. I I want to
Don't
see
wait
if
too long. It's going to be like $90 to pick it up.
right, but I I want to see if they do a Xenoblade Chronicles X Deluxe Edition for the Switch, because that game was so ambitious on the Wii U that the Wii U is really straining under the load of that game. And I always thought it would be really great
Mhm.
if they just ported it over to a system that has a little bit more room to just do the game to run it at 60 frames per second, fix some of the pop in and the LOD management because some of it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
The game does actually run pretty well. It is pretty impressive for being a Wii U game, but then again, the Switch is not tremendously more powerful than the Wii U, so Who knows? I don't know how much better a Switch version of a Xenoblade Chronicles X would be, but that is
Yeah.
a game that's on my. I also need to finish Xenoblade Chronicles period because I'm not done with that one yet.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, for me, I've been last week. I mentioned that I started playing Anodyne for
Mhm.
and I'm almost done with it. And I learned like yesterday that there's actually a new game plus mode as well. So because you get a total of 37 character cards, like they're just little collectible cards with a picture of a character or an object in the game, and a little funny saying if you uh, selected in the menu. But there's like another like couple of dozen cards and stuff and other things that you can get in a new game plus mode, and so I'm like, okay, but I'm at the end boss, and I'm trying to play this with the keyboard, and I'm kind of sucking at it. And it's like I because my hand starts cramping up because it's just like the C and the X key are the action buttons, and my hand just starts cramping up, and I keep hitting the Z button and stuff, and so I need to switch over to the gamepad and use an app. Use a software like Joy to Key to map the gamepad to the keyboard commands, so that when you hit the A button on the Xbox controller, that's the attack, that's the C button, and the B button is the X, and the D pad is the arrow buttons, and that way you can so that way I can actually play with the gamepad and hopefully be able to actually beat this final boss, which isn't, the boss isn't that I don't think it's that difficult. I think I almost beat it once, and I just happened to die a little early just because things start getting a little crazy. The boss starts shooting even more things at you. But I'm really enjoying the game. It's a very surreal game.
Mhm.
It's not explicit about what the theme of the game is, or what the actual story is. You just kind of wander around, and the bosses and rocks and signs and stuff, they all say weird things to you, and I'm suspecting that the story is actually taking place in some guy's head. Like he's in a coma or something, and he's trying to make sense of some tragedy that's going on in his life. But that's the sense I'm getting from it, and so I'm hoping to see. I'm hoping that once I beat the boss, that all this stuff will be answered. But yeah, very surreal game. I don't think it would be for everybody. The gameplay wise, it plays very similar uh, to Zelda, a 2D Zelda game. So if you're a fan of those, you probably like it. But if you don't like surreal games, you may not enjoy it.
Mhm.
So, but I like surreal stuff. I like games that don't. That don't conform to established genres and themes that most games do. So the more interesting the game theme is, the more I enjoy it. So games like Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy, I think those are fun games as well for the off the wall themes that they have. So. Um, but yeah, this one is it's very surreal,
Oh.
and it's, some weird stuff in it, but nothing crazy. Like it's just you know, like there's one area which is it's a black and white town, and there's kind of a staticky effect on it, but all the people that are wandering around the outside of buildings, you can stab them and kill them. You can't talk to them. You can only stab them and kill them. The
Mm.
people in the buildings you can talk to, and it turns out like the people outside, there's one house, and the guy, and you talk to the guy, and he's like, he's like, come back to me when you've killed enough townspeople. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay. And so I go around like,
I don't think I'll come back to you, sir. You're creeping me out.
yeah, and it's like you go around, you kill some people, but also like when you go into the houses and talk to people, like a lot of them are like, they talk to you about murders that are going on outside the windows, and it's like, some people are like, oh, I don't ever look out my window, so I don't know what's going on out there. What, there's murderers out there, there's killers, what are you talking about? And it's just like really weird. I'm like, man, the guy who made this game is very interesting. He's got another game out, and it came out last year. What is it? Even the Ocean. So that's something that I'm wanting to check out after I'm done with Anodyne, because it's just I really enjoyed Anodyne in that sense, and so I'm just like, I wonder what he did with this game, and we'll have to check it out. But
Jordan has a interesting comment. He says, that moment when you're finished hours of gameplay in Assassin's Creed, then you switch to Mario and try to shank a Goomba because you're still on Bloodlust mode. I've had similar things happen where I'll switch to a new game and I'll try to perform an action that was in the previous game that doesn't exist in this game. Like I'll, oh no, dodge roll. Oh, there's no dodge roll in this game. The only concrete example I can think of, and it was because I was on stream at the time, is I was playing the demo for Bayonetta 2. And I think I had just been playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. And, dodging is, I think, the B button or something like that. But in Bayonetta, dodging is the right trigger. And so I'd keep hitting what in Bayonetta is the jump button, trying to dodge it. Like, here comes an attack, dodge, and she'd jump into the air. I'm like, no, other, because I'm still used to the controls of a previous game. So yeah, that happens to me too. Did you see the trailer, such that it was, for Castlevania?
Yes, I watched that. I really liked the intro. The intro was really cool.
A little precious.
Yeah.
A little long. Not exactly accurate as far as looking like NES graphics, but whatever.
Yeah, but it was really, really, a really fun way of introducing a video game themed cartoon, especially a video game that goes back to the NES, where that's the roots. And and I like the I like the
idea more than I like the execution.
Yeah, and then the 8-bit style Netflix menu system. Mm-hmm. It's like you see House of Cards there, and I forget if there was and then Castlevania, and then the trailer showed up. It was a good teaser, not a full blown trailer.
Yeah,
but,
gives you an idea what they're going for with the art style at least.
Yeah, and it looks good. I think it. I wouldn't mind watching it. I would like to know a little bit more about what the story is. And
really what I got out of it was July something. I'm like, oh, that soon? I honestly wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it this summer. I was expecting it at earliest this fall. But it's coming out this summer. And I'm like, wow, they must have been working on this
I'll buy a
while before the announcement. And so... But yeah, you got to see a fair amount of blood in the trailer. So yeah, but yeah, I would like. I'm looking forward to the next trailer.
Yeah, give them more an idea of what the characters might sound like, the voice work, the tone. We kind of get the style. I don't know so much about the tone and pacing and stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah. For in Netflix's in defense, I guess giving them credit, their Voltron series has been very well received, especially by fans of the original Voltron. So yeah, if you can make it a series that appeals to people's nostalgia for the original, and bring in new audiences, because a lot of new kids are watching this and really enjoying it. So it's got a huge amount of cross appeal. So they've done that very successfully. So I have some faith in Netflix.
You want to appeal to the existing fans while being open to a new audience.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, way too many projects based on classic properties, either old cartoons or old comic books or whatever, or video games, they alienate the old fans and then make something so stupid no one else is interested in it either. It's like,
well, it's like Masters of the Universe. They tried doing that, and it just granted they did a decent job at updating it, but they did not have a lot of appeal to the original fans, and it just wasn't that interesting of a show to bring in new audiences. And they did the same thing with Thundercats. So
well, I mean, I think one of the things you should probably always do is like read the elevator pitch, the 2-sentence elevator pitch to an existing fan, and if they go, rethink it. Because I mean, remember back when they were doing the first Transformers movie, and Spielberg allegedly said something like, "It's about a boy in his car," and every Transformers fan the world over went, "No, it's not. No, 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 no." I forget what they're doing a Monster Hunter movie, and I forget who. It's probably Paul Anderson, and I forget what his log line for the Monster Hunter movie was, but I remember complaining about it on Twitter, going, "This guy obviously has no idea what makes Monster Hunter fun." And the same thing with Masters of the Universe. It's like, okay, so He-Man, only it's going to star. We get it out of Eternia, set it on Earth, and star 2 human characters that don't exist in the original property, and no one's going to care about. No, it's about He-Man. Stop it. Anyway, someone had something really funny in here. It was Scotty, who says being able to climb anywhere in Breath of the Wild has ruined me. Yeah, I know. Play Breath of the Wild and try to go back to Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, or Uncharted or something. It's like, why can't I climb this wall?
It's like, this rock is 6 feet tall. Why can I not climb on top of it?
Nightmare asks, there was a He-Man remake series. There was a new cartoon like 10 years ago. And
it lasted all of like
good
12 episodes or something. I forget how many episodes.
I don't know how long it went, but I don't think it made it past the first season. But it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good damn update of the original Masters.
They did. They retold some of the classic episodes, and then they told some new stories. Even Mechanic got his own episode in that, like a an episode dedicated to him, and it's like his usefulness and how he ended up saving Eternia because his neck could extend higher than this gas cloud that was knocking everybody out. But there was some good stuff to it. But yeah, it didn't have enough to. I personally grew up on He-Man. Granted, I was in the single digits age-wise when I was a big fan of it, but I loved He-Man to death. And
Dolph Lundgren was a good He-Man. I will give it that.
Yes, he was. But yeah, I watched the new series and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't something that I'm like anxiously waiting for the next episode, and it's just like I tried watching it with my kids and they weren't interested. It just I can't really put my finger on exactly why it didn't work, because my kids, they love the classic He-Man, the classic Masters of the Universe, and classic She-Ra. They've been watching on Netflix. They've got the He-Man She-Ra crossover movie, and they love that. it's like my 6-year-old or 7. Well, she's 7 now. She loves that, and she wants to be She-Ra. So it's really cool.
Well, she has a flying unicorn. I'm not sure what's better, Battle Cat or a flying probably a flying unicorn because it flies.
Well, yeah, flying unicorn's pretty cool, but man, you
I like
can't beat
cats better than horses.
you
A
can't beat
creature
a
can't
battle
fly.
cat.
A battle cat can't fly. Although his armor is pretty badass.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So, first topic, halfway through the show, as usual, is
Yes.
kind of a revisit of something I think we discussed last week or the week before. Is Wargaming with their whole World of Tanks thing had they copyright claimed a video of some guy they were working with in some arrangement. They have a partner program where
it's a community contributor.
something like that. But this community contributor did not like one of their new tanks, and said so using very colorful language. So Wargaming threatened him to take your video down, or we'll have it taken down for you via copyright claim, which of course is a gross abuse of the copyright system.
Mm-hmm.
And of course everyone said, shame, Wargaming, shame. And there was also some weird stuff about how they were saying that we don't, it's the language and the bigotry and the homophobia. And everyone went, well, wait a minute, are we watching the same video? What? Yeah, he said the F word a bunch, but what's homophobic? What?
Yeah.
And so Wargaming actually released a new statement early last week. And it's jointly signed by the product director of World of Tanks, general manager in Europe, general manager of North America, and the publishing director of World of Tanks. So this is big official message. It says, we have further reviewed the incident of last Friday involving, however you pronounce the guy who was talking about their tank. And we know we could have handled the situation a lot better. We strongly support our players, including our community contributors. That's what they're called. Their community contributors' right to speak critically about us and our games. We acted too quickly and over the line when we threatened to have YouTube remove this guy's video through a copyright infringement complaint, and we are apologizing for that. We're committed to doing a better job on this front. We're going to improve the way we communicate with our community and our community contributors, and as part of that effort, we will work with them on more detailed, specific guidelines to help ensure incidents like this don't happen again. And they write in bold, our official position is that Wargaming will not take copyright action against opinions based on our publicly released content. Well, good. Over the weekend, we released a statement to some media outlets regarding the content of this guy's video that inferred that that they contained hate speech and homophobia. While we would obviously not want such content to be associated with any of our games, this video clearly did not. We apologize for this statement, and we don't stand behind those claims. We love our players and our contributors, and we appreciate their honesty and commitment. We are committed to using this incident to grow and improve. So, that is, I think, about the best you could expect of any company as far as we lied and we were absolutely in the wrong. Sorry, we won't do it again.
And I really got to question where they were getting their information. It's like, how many of these people actually watched the video before they started throwing their little tantrum? Because they basically admit that they were completely wrong about the content of the video. It's like, really, how did you miss that? But
yeah, and in case I misspoke or wasn't clear, so far as I'm aware, Wargaming never actually issued the copyright claim. They just threatened to do it.
Yeah.
Which is still horse poop.
Yeah, and he, because of that threat, he actually took the video down from his main channel and then re-uploaded it to some other channel, I guess, that he either had control of or knew the person that owned the channel, because the video was out there to watch. You could watch it. It's just it wasn't on his channel because he didn't want to get the copyright strike on his own channel, which I don't blame him, because three copyright strikes and your channel is gone.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. Yeah, and even a bad faith copyright claim can destroy your channel, and there's very little that you could do as a YouTube channel or a YouTuber to do, because YouTube doesn't pay any attention to you.
Oh no.
Any copyright disputes, they just send it directly to the person who claimed the copyright on it, and they get 30 days to ignore you, and then reject your counterclaim.
Yeah, if you guys follow me on Twitter at Andrew Eisen, you may have noticed me snarking at Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures copyright claimed one of my debut review videos because I had used a short clip from from the show I was reviewing to illustrate what I was talking about, which is the literal definition of fair use. But Sony Pictures don't care, and neither does YouTube. So I re-edited the video and shortened the clip a bit, and I either shortened it enough that the part that is in the Content ID system was out, or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
Oh well, that's I had a pretty good month last month. I made $13 in YouTube ad revenue. I don't do this for a living, but I will be damned if I let anyone else make money off of my work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm right there with you, and so because it's insane that you can put a week's worth of effort in creating a video, and then some third party can come and say, well, this 10 seconds of your video is my content, so I get all the ad revenue on your 15-minute video. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
The weird part to me, well, it's not weird because the answer is money. But in an ideal world, see, the way it works is this: is the company copyright claims, and you as the video producer, it is up to you to prove that you were not infringing on their copyright. In an ideal world, that would be the other way around. If a company wants to make a copyright claim, they have to prove that you are infringing on their intellectual property.
Yeah. Copyright is one of those backwards area of law where it's usually up to the defendant to prove the negative, and that's a very hard thing to do if you're not aware, because guilty until proven innocent is one of those things that you just can't do very effectively, and it costs a lot of money. And so, copyright needs some severe overhauls, especially
Nintendo,
when it comes to fair use.
Yeah, you may all remember that Nintendo copyright claimed the Captain Toad headbutts Toadette in the crotch video I did a year or two ago. That one I didn't release until that copyright claim was resolved. So that one would have come out 2 months earlier when the game was a bit more relevant. But I'm like, no, the 30 cents I've made on that video is mine, not Nintendo's. And 13U Cube is Mad World for the Wii worth playing. If you can find it in a bargain bin somewhere, I think it's. I can't say you'll enjoy it. I thought it was okay. But I do think it's a unique experience that's worth having. You may not really say, oh my God, greatest game ever, but I think it's worth a look, yes. So, what about concert footage? What about concert footage? Not clear on what context you're asking. Like, are you allowed to go to a concert and tape it and then upload that? No.
Not typically, no. Yeah.
But I'm not talking about re-uploading the entire anime. I'm saying using a 30-second clip of the show to illustrate a critique I was making. That is fair
Yeah.
use. Saying, "Hey, here's something that you would otherwise have to pay for free." That is not fair use. So,
Yeah.
is 8.99 a bargain? Yeah, for Mad World? Yeah, yeah, I'd pull the trigger on that. Yeah. Okay. Gulp. What's the next topic? Next topic is, oh, this is something that Nightmare Ninja was asking our opinion on. So Nintendo, in its interesting ways, is selling a Splatoon console bundle. And in addition to a console bundle, they're also selling the box for $5, just an empty box, in case you want the box. Like you're a collector and you just really want the box. They are also selling an empty Splatoon game case. Well, it's not empty. It has the digital download code in it, so the game still costs $60, but there's no game card in it. There's just a digital download code. For those
Yeah.
of you who want a digital copy, but you also want the physical case to put on your shelf. My thought, that's great. More options are
Yeah.
great. Um,
I think $5 is actually a pretty good deal for a box, because for a lot of games and a lot of systems, just an empty box will sell for. Yeah, it depends on what system it is. Like a thank you, little Giddle. But an empty NES box. Like if you get the box and the styrofoam and everything that came with it without the console and stuff, you could get probably a good 40, $50 just for the box. And which is kind of crazy. And even game boxes, like for especially older games, NES, Super NES, Game Boy, Genesis. If you can get boxes for those, people buy them up because they're collectors. And I can understand where Nintendo's coming from, because say you bought the NES Switch at launch. Here in the US, we didn't get a bundle, so nobody has the
yeah,
really cool box. But
we
they'll
just
go
get
and
different
buy.
colored controllers.
Yeah, but people will go and buy Splatoon, and fans of Splatoon, yeah, they would have loved to have gotten the bundle, but they've already got a Switch, so just getting a box for $5 is a really cool deal.
I personally, I understand the game case a lot more than the console box. I don't know anyone who proudly displays their console boxes. I mean, I have lots of
I do.
DVDs and stuff. Oh, you do? Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with it. $5 if you want the box. Hey, here's the box. You've already got the contents, but if you want the box, here you go. I think it's a
Yeah.
great idea
Yeah.
for the
It's
few people who want it.
box collecting is a big thing in the retro gaming scene, especially because there's two types of collectors, retro gaming collectors. You got the people who just want the games, and then you've got the completionists who want the games, the manuals, the box, any other inserts that came with the game, and they will spend hundreds upon thousands of dollars buying boxes, and they will buy system boxes for the system, and for systems that had multiple releases. So like you've got the NES that came with a controller, a zapper, and Duck Hunt. You've got the NES that came with the trackpad and then track and field in with Mario and Duck Hunt. Then you've got the NES with Rob the Robot, and people will collect these specific systems and the boxes to go with them. So Gas Can on Fire says the box is $5, shipping is $25. That's $30 is still a pretty good deal, I would think, for a box, something that you're going to display in your collection.
$25.
Still,
That box better not be flattened. That better be like a
yeah,
box
yeah,
in a
that
box.
better be a completed box. Yeah. But this sort of reminds me of when Okami, Okami, I'm saying that right? With the dog,
Yeah.
and the Yeah,
A
Okami.
game that I'm still amazed was never ported to the Wii U. Well, I guess not.
Yeah,
Anymore, but
exactly.
man, would that would have been the perfect version of that game if it were on the Wii
Yes, it
U.
would. And but I remember when Okami came out, and Capcom, they gave out 3 alternative
Oh, covers, yes.
covers,
One with the
and
IGN watermark on it.
yeah,
You remember that?
and yeah, and they gave those out. And it's like you could just go onto their website, put in what you which one, put in your address and everything, and then tell them which one you wanted, and they shipped it to you for free. And I hadn't even bought the game at the time, and I'm like, this is cool. I like the artwork. I want to get one of these.
Yeah,
And so
I have them
I
too.
picked the one that I wanted, and then they shipped all 3 to me, and I'm like, really? That's cool.
Yeah, you got all 3.
Yeah, and so
Pretty
that
great.
was a really cool deal, and unfortunately, I think I lost them, which kind of frustrates me. I know they're somewhere in my stuff, but because I've moved several times over the last few years, I'm not sure which box they're in, and because I really want to get them out and frame them and hang them up because they're very beautiful pictures.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And so, but it's cardboard. Cardboard. It's all worth 5 cents. I've got turd side biting Jesus. Want to buy it? Of course you do, because everything has a price.
Hey,
thank you, Jordan. I love that. Yeah, rocks in a leather bag for $80. Want one? Oh man.
So, all right, moving on to our last topic. I've had I was planning on doing a E3 predictions video. And so I opened up a draft email in Outlook and started writing down some predictions and would add to it as I thought of them. And I think this week alone, I've had to cross 3 things off the list because things just keep getting announced. I'm like, well, okay, Monster Hunter for yeah, okay, let's take that off the list. We're not going to have Beyond Good and Evil 2 at E3. Yeah, that was on the list. I guess I can mark that off. Another
They're
thing
just trying to lull you into a false sense of security on that one. They're going to surprise announce it, and
I doubt it. One of the reasons I had that on the list in the first place is because Michelle Ancel, a few months ago on Instagram or something, basically confirmed that they had just started pre-production on the game, and we're all, it's going to be at least 3 years until this game comes out. Okay, you just started. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Suda51 and his new game, ostensibly No More Heroes 3. The ones I think that Art of Travis is. I don't think he'd started yet as of last January. I think they had that Art of Travis, and that was it. I think he's like, I would like to make a game, is what he was announcing. So I don't think we'll see No More Heroes 3 either. But another thing I had on the list was about the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle game that's been rumored since last fall. And what we had heard was that the playable characters would be Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi, in addition to Rabbids dressed up as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi. So my thought was, okay, so I'm going to guess that the enemies in the game are going to be Rabbids dressed up as Mario enemies. So Rabbids wearing Piranha Plant suits and Shy Guy suits and Goomba suits and Koopa suits and stuff like that. Well, Nintendo World Report? Yeah, Nintendo World Report had a big leak of Mario plus Rabbids stuff. And one of the things that was included in the leak was a picture of what apparently is the box art. And if you look at the Mario and Rabbids over Mario's head in the background, looks like a giant rabbit with Donkey Kong's tie. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see that.
So it looks like I might be, I mean, maybe that's the only rabbit dressed up as Mario characters, but that's kind of softly confirming the idea that I had for, I mean, that's not a confirmation, but that's pretty decent evidence that we're going to at least see some rabid enemies dressed up as Mario characters.
Yeah.
Other than that, Nintendo World Report had what looks like a marketing plan, a few slides giving bullet points of the game so that marketers could advertise it. And so each of the characters has looks like a handgun of some sort, and they have little descriptions on them, which makes it sound like Luigi is the sniper, and one of them is the explosives person, and then one. So like that.
Yeah.
What it really sounds like to me is it sounds like actually let me read it to you real quick. So it says 35% exploration, 65% turn-based combat. So 4 world environments to discover, control of Tutorio, no direct control of the heroes. I'm going to take a wild guess that Tutorio is, and that's the wrong one. No. Hang on. Where is it? This one. Yes, that Tutorio is this little rabbit thing with the blue eyes in the front, right by
Robot
Mario's
Roomba thing.
foot. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
little rabbit ears. That's what I'm guessing that is. Um, where was I? Okay, so no direct control of the heroes. You control Tutorio. Puzzles and secret zones, twisted Mario's world full of Easter eggs, unique heroes, playstyles, tactical options, dash, team jumps, warp pipes, destructible covers, upgradable collectible weapons, variety of combat objectives and contextual events, 7 enemy archetypes plus 1 boss/mid-boss per world, and multiplayer co-op. And it goes on, and there's some other details. But what this is sounding like to me is XCOM with Mario and Rabbids characters. So it sounds like kind of a strategy game where you direct your team to move into different areas with cover and things like that, and to get all the different enemies. And it says 7 different archetypes. Well, that's pretty consistent with games like XCOM. They have the grunt and the one dude that shoots poison, and then the tall men guys that do the thing. So I'm thinking now I could be totally wrong about this, but it sounds like XCOM. I'm like, that actually sounds really cool. Mario XCOM. I'm actually kind of digging that idea. Now I have no idea if that's actually how this game is going to work, but that does sound pretty cool to me.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed, and I gotta wonder if this is actually going to make it into official marketing materials, is they twice describe Peach using the word ass. Once as badass princess, and then the other one is self-defense kick-ass. And it's
okay, sure.
Yeah, so not in a they don't refer to her in a negative way, but it's just it doesn't seem like Nintendo would actually approve language like that in marketing for a Mario game. So that's just something that kind of caught me as this has got to be they're not going to market it this way, I don't think.
No, they're not going to have badass or kick ass in the marketing. Almost certainly not.
But yeah, I just
if it
find
were a completely Ubisoft project, maybe, but probably not Nintendo.
Yeah, and I know this is only internal marketing, but it just seems very weird that even then they would even do that in internal marketing.
A lot of it reads like this marketing was translated from a different language first. So it may have been in French in the first place, and then someone translated it and just used badass or kick ass because
maybe, yeah.
But I do like the fact that it's Mario, Luigi, Peach, and not Toad. It's Yoshi, a much more interesting character.
Yeah, I never expected to see Yoshi as a playable character outside of being a ride for Mario. But that's kind of an interesting choice, because usually they go with Toad as that fourth character.
because
Um,
Peach's dress is too hard to animate. It's like, well, then put her in pants. Come on. Um, to be clear, I don't doubt and would enjoy badass Princess Peach with a rocket launcher, blowing up fools. That'd be great. I
yeah,
just don't think the marketing will literally use the specific word badass or
probably
kick-ass.
not.
I don't think any variation of ass or hell or damn or any other light swears will be in the marketing for a Nintendo game. So, or at least
Yeah.
a probably E or E10 plus, probably E10 plus, maybe teen, but probably E10 plus.
I no, Nintendo would not let a Mario game be a T rating.
Well, come over
Smash
Smash Brothers.
Brothers T, but that's a fine
But even in
game.
Smash Brothers, I don't recall them ever. They settle it in Smash. It was never kick his ass.
Yeah, it's like I'm really surprised that Smash Brothers managed a T rating and that Nintendo let it slide. That really surprised me. But I really don't see a specific Mario title being allowed to go T. E10 is the highest I think Nintendo would allow a Mario named game. Uh, so.
13U Cube says Peach looks great in 3D World with her fire flower suit. Peach and Rosalina both had really interesting alternate costumes with like the fire flower suit and the boomerang suit and a couple of the others. I really liked the ladies' alternate costumes in that game. Jordan has a funny comment, says Peach. She's a kick-ass badass with dad ass that makes you droll like a dumbass.
Yeah. I just noticed in this in the very last slide, the game ID with the game box, Ubisoft puts the age rating as provisionally at PEGI 7.
Yeah,
which means that that's their best estimate right now. They haven't made it official yet that that's the rating, but that's what they're expecting to get. So an E7 a PEGI 7 translated to ESRB could go either way. It could go E, it could go E10.
I would
probably
go
an E10.
Probably because the Rabbids have that booger sense of humor. Fart jokes and stuff like that can get a little crass, but stuff that makes kids under 10 giggle because it's funny. Nightmare Ninja, I've read the Mario comics in Nintendo Power, and Peach could very accurately be described as a badass to the point where she's scary. Do not get on comic Peach's bad side. She will beat you like a bad monkey. So this is a game that I've been. I like the Rabbids. In fact, I like the Rabbids better than Rayman as a character. Rayman I've always found kind of dull as a character. I've never cared about him at all. Games are great. I really like Rayman Origins and Legends. I think those are wonderful, wonderful platformers and gorgeous too. But even in Legends, I was playing the gal with the battle axe the entire time. I never bothered with Rayman because he bores the hell out of me. I'm really interested in Mario and Rabbids, and if they do something really unexpected, like make an XCOM like game out of it, I am super interested. That sounds really interesting. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about this. Although I do kind of feel bad for Nintendo having their lunch completely eaten, because somewhere in this slides is like a marketing timeline, big surprise blowout at E3 or something. It's like, yeah. No,
that's not going to happen anymore. Yeah, because it's like the surprise at announcement E3 reveal, plus the first hands-on. So they'll still be able to keep the first hands-on there, but the reveal is now done. And then so that's June, and then July is they put it as convince media / gamers with previews. And then in August, go for the launch. So they're planning on launching in August.
Which is kind of interesting. That, to me, says that if this game launches in August, Mario Odyssey almost certainly is not coming out before November. Because I find it very unlikely that Mario Odyssey would I mean, I know they're probably two completely different games, but I don't see Mario plus Rabbids coming out in August and then Mario Odyssey coming out the next month in September. They're probably going to want to put at least 2 months between the two. That would be my gut
Yeah.
feeling, anyway.
Yeah, certainly. I'm definitely agree with you there. Mario Odyssey is going to be their holiday title. That's the one that they're going to.
Yeah,
That's the one they're expecting to sell big for the
unless it gets
holidays
delayed into
and sell
2018.
holiday Switches. Suck because it looks like it would be a really fun game. Just based on that one trailer we watched,
Mhm.
to play. It's
I
just
have to I
a
have to agree
huge
with whoever.
variety in the levels.
Yeah, I do agree with whoever said it in the chat a little earlier that the real world area is a little unsettling. It kind of with the realistic
Yes.
people walking around, because I'd always assumed that Mario was a real person and that everyone from the real world would look cartoonish like Mario and Luigi. So it's a little weird to see him in a interact with humans that are more realistic looking than he is. It's a little weird. And someone was saying that it gives him Sonic '06 vibes. The Sonic '06 was the one where he was macking on the realistic girl and running around a town. Terrible,
Yeah.
terrible game. The game is so bad. Werewolf Sonic is better than that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, well, I think I don't know. I guess yeah, because Mario doesn't have normal human proportions.
Correct.
I think that's probably the most unsettling aspect of it. But then there's also the height difference.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
watched.
Mario is like 3.5 feet
Yeah,
tall, I guess.
well, yeah, according to that. But
3.5, 4 feet
Game
tall.
Theory. There's a video channel called Game Theory, and
Oh yeah.
they're the way they figured Mario's height is 5'11", based on uh, in-game um, in-game size comparisons and various other things, and they came up with around 5'11" as Mario's actual height, and so really these people, this real world that Mario is running around in, these people are 12 feet tall, and which is it would be kind of weird for us to go to as well. So
Yeah. I'd have to go back and look at it and see how Mario and the people in the town compare to like the taxi cabs that are driving around, or see if there are any doorways that are visible, and see how tall they are, if they're sized for Mario, if they're sized for the other people. But what's
you would
interesting
assume
is,
they would be sized for the normal people there. It'd be like Mario going to Giant World, I guess.
I guess, but
Um,
it's
in a
interesting because Mario is always typically depicted as a fairly short person, like 4.5 feet tall. I mean, if you look at the Smash Brothers cast, I mean, even Little Mac is taller than
yeah,
Mario. But you look at Bayonetta and Samus and Wii Fit Trainer and people you imagine are somewhere between 5'8", 6 foot tall. Mario's significantly shorter than all of the realistically proportioned human characters, Captain Falcon and stuff like
that's yeah.
that. Then again, Olimar is almost as tall as Mario, and he's supposed to be like an inch tall or something like that. But you wouldn't have a. He took some growth. He took some of the eat me mushrooms from through the looking or Alice in Wonderland. That's how it
Yeah.
happened. Knowing Sega and says Jordan, knowing Sega and Nintendo's relationship today, you think we might see a Samba de Amigo Easter egg in the Mexico level? Uh, that'd be interesting. Or
Yeah.
just see that little Samba monkey character just kind of tooling through. Hey, it just wanders out. Huh?
Uh,
So
yeah.
yes, Kelly's right. Nothing should make you want to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh,
Even even
it's a fun romp, but yeah, it's just there's
yes.
nothing in it to make it even realistically be a Mario movie.
Yeah, I know. Even when
Uh,
I was young, and I don't remember when it came out, but I was probably
it was
10,
in the
12.
'90s.
Was it 90s? Okay, so I was probably early
Yeah,
teenager. But
early
I
'90s.
remember looking at the movie going, did have they never seen the game like at all? I,
No, they didn't.
I mean, it's like I mean they get things. How, did someone like an uninterested parent who doesn't pay attention to what their kids are playing describe the game as best they could to you, and then you wrote a movie based on that? Is that what happened? I mean, why is I mean, Yoshi's color is wrong. I mean, that's supposed to be Yoshi. Looks nothing like him. Why is he yellow? Why isn't he green like Yoshi should be? Why is the Babam this big? Why is it a little wind-up toy that's like 2 inches tall?
Yeah, yeah. There's lots of yeah. It's a terrible video game movie, but it's a fun B movie. That's I look at it that way. I enjoy watching it from time to time. It's not something I'll go out of my way to watch, but if I have
Street Fighter was Raul Julia's last film.
yeah, Street Fighter, that one was terrible. Oh no, yeah,
well, I mean,
it was
at least almost all the characters were
movie
completely recognizable as who they were supposed to be. So you got to give Street Fighter at least
That's
that
true.
much.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where the producers on Mario Brothers decided Goombas were giant beefcakes with tiny dinosaur heads. That never made sense to me.
Yeah. Mushroom Kingdom. Let's make it look like a slimy warehouse. It should be like more like Blade Runner than it is. Wait, what? No. No, it should be like Willy Wonka. You know, the scene where everything is edible.
Yeah,
it should be like that. Have you again, it's like how do you make a Super Mario Brothers movie and have never actually seen the game? How do you manage to be around in like 92, 93, 94, having never seen Super Mario Brothers? That's surprising too. Speaking of movies where they don't really care much about the game, is after 6 Resident Evil films, I hear they're going to just reboot, which I'm fine with. Maybe they'll actually make Resident Evil movies this time, and by that I don't mean adapt the exact screenplay of the games. You don't have to do that, but the movies are not Resident Evil. They're just
they're zombie sci-fi action movies, and I don't think I've actually watched a Resident Evil movie all the way through, just because I'm not a huge fan of the genre, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the remake or them rebooting the entire series. It just seems kind of odd.
Wasn't the last one's called The Final Chapter or something? I mean, I know Friday the 13th did that with 4, and that went on for a while yet.
Yeah.
But,
I still haven't gotten around to seeing the Warcraft movie or Assassin's Creed movie. I don't. Yeah, I'm not invested enough in Warcraft to really want to go see the Warcraft movie, and I like Warcraft, the RPG or the strategy game, but never was a fan of MMOs, and so I have no connection to the MMO, and so maybe one of these days I'll get around to watching it. But Assassin's Creed, I don't care about the franchise, so I'm not really
Assassin's Creed is a movie I keep having to remind myself actually came out. Oh yeah, they're making an Assassin's Creed. Oh wait, that came out. Oh, that came out like a year ago, did it? Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. And yes, chat, Street Fighter the movie, the video game was a thing.
Yes,
they used digitized versions of the actors in the film to make a game. So it was Street Fighter the game, only it sucked. It's like we should make Street Fighter like the movie. It should suck, yes, and suck it did.
Yeah, it is one of the weirdest thing. It's like okay, we made a video game. We made a movie about the video game, and now we're going to make a video game about the movie instead of just making a new video game. I
guess it's like making a photocopy of a photocopy.
Exactly.
We made a movie adaptation of a video game. How is it? It's terrible. Well, let's make a video game adaptation of a crappy adaptation of a video game. It's like, oh no. So I haven't seen the
Let
Mega
me
Man family.
smear some petroleum jelly on this copier screen before I make my copy, and then we'll make a copy of that on top of the petroleum jelly again. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the Doom movie.
I didn't watch Doom because just like Assassin's Creed, I have no interest in the source material. So why would I go and watch the movie about it?
Well, what's interesting is no one cares about the story of Doom, not even Doom Guy, which the latest Doom made very, very clear that the character in the game does not care about the story. He's just there to
shoot
kill
demons.
the Hellspawn. The
Yeah.
story is not interesting. It's there if you want it, but Doom Guy don't care.
One of these days, I'm going to actually sit down and gather up all these video game movies, at least all the ones that I know about, and marathon them. I might skip all the Uwe Boll stuff just because I can't stand the guy, and I don't even want to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I watched a movie of his, even though he doesn't know who I am. I still don't want to give him the satisfaction that I watched one of his movies.
I will admit, I bought
all the
Blood
other
Rain.
ones.
I bought Blood Rain the movie, but the only reason I bought it is because it came with Blood Rain 2, which I wanted. So, Animal Crossing, that movie does look good. They haven't released it. Have they localized that? Is there a subtitled version of that movie anywhere? I haven't seen it. I saw like a trailer for the Animal Crossing movie. I'm like, well, that looks like an Animal Crossing movie. You know, there's an animated Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I think animated movies have come a long way, and most video games, most video game movies should be animated. I guess you get things like Uncharted, Assassin's Creed stuff. Yeah, you're probably going to appeal more to those games' audiences by making the movie with real actors and sets and stuff. But something like Mario, Animal Crossing, Zelda, whatever, you're probably going to do better as a 3D animated movie. But unless you're Castlevania, then you go the 2D animated look. So, which I think could still look really cool. But that's more of an anime than a movie. So
you were not informed of the Animal Crossing movie because, so far as I know, it's never made it outside of Japan. I don't. Maybe there's a fan sub of it somewhere. I really don't know.
There's a fan sub.
There's probably no legal way to watch a subtitled version of the movie. If there is, comments please, because I'd actually be interested in checking it out too.
Yeah, I doubt there's a legal way of doing it. I'm sure there's plenty of less than legal ways to do it. But yeah.
Do all the characters talk like the characters in the game with the gibberish speak? No, they don't. I know they don't, but that would be kind of funny if they did.
Unless you're really weird and think any language other than English is just gibberish speak.
Okay, sure. Now, but what's funny is the Japanese Animal Crossing. Each of the characters pretty much says what they're saying because they all have voice clips for all 30 some odd 40 whatever individual phonic sounds that Japanese is made up of. So katakana is the written thing so that everyone can say ka, ta, ka, na. So when everything's written out, they go katakana. So you can kind of hear them saying it. In the English versions, they just kind of say the letters really fast. So occasionally you can hear them go, okay, or something like that. So it ends up being a bit more intelligible than, say, Banjo-Kazooie. But there's two fan dubs. Well, I care not for dubs. It's sub or nothing. I always find that weird. Isn't it easier, quicker, and cheaper to just subtitle the damn thing? I mean,
usually
dubbing it requires actual talent and a cast and rewriting it so that it fits. With subtitles, you can just write what they say on the screen and it's easy. Not that it's magic and you have subtitles, but But yeah, I guess some people just really, 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 really do not want to read subtitles when they watch a movie. Never bothered me. In fact, I prefer.
GFY says, can you use a GameCube gamepad on the Wii? Yes, you can, but not all Wii games support the gamepad.
I think
Certain
Smash
games do,
Brothers
like
is about it.
Smash Brothers does, and then there's a handful of other games that do as well. But mostly, you're just going to use the GameCube gamepads for GameCube games on the Wii.
Yeah.
But the Wii U, no, you can't. You've got to get the Wii or the GameCube adapter thing, but that's only for Smash Brothers on the Wii U. So,
yeah. All right. So, in final news, that Wonder Woman poster where she's hoisting a tank above her head, I don't like it because it doesn't look like she's holding anything. I don't have a problem that Wonder Woman can. I don't have a problem that Wonder Woman with the idea that Wonder Woman is physically strong enough to hoist a tank above her head. I have a problem that it doesn't look like she's actually holding anything. It looks like
she's holding like a surfboard on her hand or something, like something light, or if nothing at all. I don't know.
Nothing at all. I think they just had Gal Gadot in the studio in front of a green screen and said, "Now pretend you're holding something." She went,
yeah.
I mean, she's not.
You would think they would at least put like an empty barbell or something in her hands,
a
so
sandbag,
that she's at least got that
anything.
10 pounds. But yeah, there's no strain on her arms. Her arms aren't even positioned in a way you would think that you would be holding something over your head.
Yeah, she's not bracing her torso or her legs to get under something that's large and bulky. Even if she's powerful enough to easily lift something, it should look like she's actually lifting something. And no, that doesn't mean I'm going to boycott the movie or anything. I'm not going to watch it if all the reviews come out like Batman v Superman.
So far, all the early impressions, like there's still an embargo on official review, but they lifted the embargo on impressions, so people who've seen or can say whether they liked the film or not, just can't describe anything what they liked. And so far, the vast majority of the first impressions are that the movie is good.
Yeah, so, I certainly hope so, because I would the DC movies haven't been doing it for me, at least. I would like a good DC movie, please. Although and
if they can make Wonder Woman the good movie that they're going to base everything else off of from this point forward, I think that would break open a lot of ceilings and doors for other female superheroes to get their films more coming out sooner, because 2019 is a long time away for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's true, because the industry tends to learn the wrong lessons from stuff. If Wonder Woman does gangbusters, they're going to be like, oh, people want to see female superhero films, and it's like, well, yes, but it's also a good movie. Probably, it's probably the lesson.
Yeah.
So I mean, but if Wonder Woman does very well, either because it's a good movie or not, regardless of why Wonder Woman does well, if we end up getting, in addition to Captain Marvel, like Squirrel Girl and She-Hulk and who else would I want to see? Like a Gotham City Sirens or something like that.
Yeah, it's like She-Hulk needs a TV series.
I agree.
More than she needs a movie.
Think She-Hulk. That's hard. That would be hard to do on a TV budget, but maybe a Netflix show if they. Although the Netflix shows don't look like they have a whole hell of really large budgets either, so hard to say. But who else could be?
Yeah.
Cool?
Let's see who else is there.
Get a whole spy thriller, James Bond, Mission Impossible kind of Black Widow movie. That'd be cool. Huntress could be cool. I think she's DC, right? I think so, yeah.
No, Black Widow is Marvel.
Black Widow's Marvel. The Huntress is DC.
The Huntress is DC, yeah. And then you've got Batgirl would be a good choice. Actually, I would think of Batwoman.
Oh yeah, I think they are doing a Batgirl movie, I believe.
But yeah, you got Batgirl, you got Batwoman. I'm trying to think of DC female superheroes that aren't. and
I'm sure they'll make a Harley
unfortunately,
Quinn movie.
DC themselves don't.
Hey, Codename Z, how you doing?
Yeah.
Is
Let's see.
Supergirl TV
Supergirl TV
series
series
any
any
good?
good?
I don't know.
Yes.
I haven't seen
Yes, I'm enjoying it. They just finished season 2, and season 2 is really good. They did have some rough patches in there. They had a it felt like a forced love interest for Supergirl, and which kind of bogged down the second season. But overall, the series is good.
it.
I like the Supergirl
I
TV
saw the
series.
6 minute
Um,
preview of Supergirl and I hated it. So I never watched any of the show. There was just a bunch of stuff in the that 6 minute trailer or 6 minute preview thing that it just really rubbed me the wrong way. Um,
it
one
definitely
that's
had some growing pains. Like the first few episodes of the first season were
that's the
not
tough thing
all
about
that
TV
great.
series is a lot of times
And
they struggle in their starts. But
yeah, because the first half of season 1 was just kind of a monster of the week type thing, and that really slowed the series down. But once you get to the second half, when they actually did an overall story arc, that's when things started picking up, and the season started working out. And then the second season was a full blown story arc across the whole thing, and with little individual stories telling 4 episodes telling this part of the arc, and then the next 3 or 4 episodes this part and stuff, and then it all came together at the end. It was really good. I liked it. It's one of the I think it's one of the better shows. 3 of the Flash this year, not the greatest season of the Flash. And next year supposedly they're moving away from a speedster main villain, which is going to be good, because they've had a speedster main villain for the first 3 seasons, and boy does it get old.
the thing that
They
always
really
annoyed
need.
me, I haven't watched it, but the thing that's always annoyed me about the Flash character and several different types of superhero characters is all the speedsters. It
Yeah,
I don't like the fact that there's like 8 of them, because it makes Flash feel
yeah,
less special to me. It's like, oh, well,
yeah.
there's
Because
like 8
yeah,
other
at the
people
end
who
of
can run really fast.
yeah, because let's see, throughout the series, you had the Flash, you had Eobard Thawne, or Reverse Flash, however you want to refer to him, and that's the first season, which isn't too bad. You know, you just got the good guy speedster and the bad guy speedster, and then second season you introduce Zoom, a Garrick, so that makes a total of 3 speedsters going on there. So 4 if you include Eobard Thawne, even though he's dead.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, he'll just come back from a different timeline anyway.
yeah, yeah, and then season 3 you have the Flash, Wally West, the Black Flash, which is Zoom, Zombie Zoom. Um, and then you have Jay Garrick, you have Jesse Quick,
Mhm.
and then there was a brief cameo of Earth 19's Speedster, which I forget what his actual name is, but yeah.
There,
So
there's Kid Flash somewhere in there too, isn't
oh,
there?
did I not say Kid Flash?
I don't know.
So I mean, let's see, Flash. So season 3 had Flash, Savitar, Jay Garrick, Kid Flash, Jesse Quick, and then the cameo from another speedster. So yeah, so we got 6 different speedsters. The cameo is just kind of a throwaway thing, but 5 main ones going on in there. Yeah, so it does. So and then and the Black Flash. Yeah, so 7, 6 if you don't count the cameo. So yeah, it does get a little grating that there's so many speedsters. But luckily, they've shuttled off Jesse Quick and Jay Garrick off to their back to their own universes, so they only show up every once in a while. But still, you've got all the villains, and that's annoying. And so next season, they've said that their main villain is not going to be a speedster, which is going to be a nice break,
Yeah.
and hopefully, it'll make the season a lot better. And hopefully, the Flash will actually grow out of his that he's been in these first 3 seasons.
Is what?
Um,
What's he grown out of?
phase, uh,
Oh,
stupidness. It's just
yeah.
the first 3 seasons are just all a series of screw ups because he likes to time travel,
Which Flash
and
is
he
he? Is
has
he
to
is he Barry Allen?
Barry Allen, yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and then Kid Flash is Wally West, and Jay Garrick is Jay Garrick.
Right. Right.
Flash.
So
So
someone asked, what do we think of what's her name? 8-bit dough making or updating their controllers to support the Switch. Thumbs, yay, good.
yeah, that's
So
awesome.
they
Yeah,
make classic
you can get
controllers
that
and
work.
they updated them so that they'll run on the Switch. So good.
That's good.
Especially,
Yeah.
especially if Virtual Console starts anytime soon, you might want to use the more classic controllers for the classic
Hmm.
games, which still kind of
Yeah.
amazes me that Nintendo doesn't do that. But there are so many things that Nintendo doesn't do. It's like that. Look at that table with all the money on it. Are you just gonna leave it there? And yeah, they do. Nightmare Ninja
Yeah.
asked, "Will I review the Castlevania series?" Like in a official review video, probably not, but we'll certainly talk about it on the show.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about it on the show, and if hopefully I'll have a little bit more time. I've been wanting to review these superhero show trailers. Like you've got The Gifted, Cloak and Dagger, Black Lightning. These are 3
right.
new shows
Oh,
coming
yeah, I
out,
saw the Black
and
Lightning trailer. That looks like
yeah,
could be
I've
interesting.
been yeah, I'm really liking. I really like it, and it's one of the things that I like about it is that Black Lightning is an established superhero
Hmm.
in the continuity of the show. And he has retired, but he's coming out of retirement, and so he's already gone through all of the tropes that you see in shows like Arrow and Supergirl and Flash, and he's moved beyond that, and now he's just like, my city is getting its butt, is getting ravaged by this gang. I got to suit back up and kick these guys' butts so that my kids can grow up in a safe
And it
town.
makes an interesting dynamic
And
because he apparently stopped in the first place to raise a
to
family.
take care of his family,
Right.
yeah, he being a superhero so he could take care of his family, and now he's reached a point where if he wants to keep his family safe, he's got to suit back up, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of a cool premise, and I'm
And
really looking forward
I'm
to
gonna
seeing how
guess that
this
his
all
kids get
plays
in on
out.
the action at some point because they do in the comics, if
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
So
It's established in the comics that his kids, his 2 daughters, they have superpowers that they inherited from him,
yeah,
and so they eventually suit up. So you'll probably see them use their powers throughout the first series or first season, but I don't think they're actually going to suit up until like maybe the last couple of episodes.
I
Uh,
would guess it's paced like that too. Yeah, but
yeah,
I think this one has some interesting potential. So we'll see how
yeah,
that turns out.
yeah.
Let's see.
And the Gifted, I do want to say this. Uh,
Oh yeah, that.
comparing
Hmm,
comparing the Gifted and Cloak and Dagger, the Gifted has attracted my attention more because with Cloak and Dagger, the trailer that they pushed out for that spent way too much on the teen drama and
yeah,
angst and stuff, and you only get very tiny glimpses of the superhero aspect of the show, whereas the Gifted focused, they kind
it's a
of gave
superhero
an
show. Yeah,
even spread of superhero and teen drama, and so you know that these are teens having teen problems while also having mutant problems,
yeah.
and they're having to deal with both of those things going on. So the Gifted looks, just based on these first trailers, the Gifted looks as the more interesting show.
I
But
would say I would agree, if only because I watched the trailer for The Gifted and I get what I'm getting. I understand what the show is
yeah,
supposed to be. Cloak and Dagger is a little confusing as to if I didn't know what Cloak and Dagger was, I'd walk away from that trailer going, huh?
What is this?
I
Yeah,
wouldn't totally be
exactly.
sure what I was watching, but as I said weeks ago when we first talked about it, I think they only had the pilot to get footage from, so that's why
Probably.
it was so
Yeah.
samey. That would be
Yeah.
my guess. 13U Cube asks, "What's in our opinion the best Rogue Squadron game?" I'd say two, the one that launched with the GameCube by like a
Yeah.
country mile. Uh, The one on the 64
There.
is good too, but the GameCube just knocked it clear out of the park. Uh, the sequel, Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3, is fine, but the get out of the ship parts really don't work. It's a fine
Yeah.
idea, and you want to expand it, and I get that, but it's just no one is playing that game for that reason. It just didn't really work.
Yeah.
So,
So Jordan Thompson says he feels it was a stupid move to not put TV Flash into the Justice League movie. Um,
oh,
but people love Grant Gustin, and he plays a great Barry Allen, but his TV show doesn't fit with what they're trying to do for the Justice League, and
at least
and
so
it's not
far,
like
yeah.
they're going to be a shared universe, but it's just I can understand why they wouldn't want to confusion saying if
Mhm.
Grant Gustin shows up in the movies, then that people will be like, oh, that must mean the TV Flash and the Green Arrow are all in the same universe with Batman and Superman. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. And so I can understand why they cast a different Flash for that. But
Yeah. Did you watch the Agents of Shield this year?
yes, I finally got through the entire season, watched the season finale, and it was a great season finale.
I thought it
I
was quite good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And
but uh, Ghost Rider was great. I love the way that him directly into fending off the as the key to defeating her. So that was really cool.
didn't catch a
Um,
word of that. You cut out like every third word.
oh, I cut it. That's weird. Okay, no, I was just saying I like the way that that was tied directly towards the main villain of the season and how he was the key of defeating her.
Ghost Rider?
So
Ah, yeah. But yeah, I
yeah,
think we predicted that a couple of weeks ago because we both like,
yeah,
oh, Ghost
definitely.
Rider's coming back. He's probably gonna take Ada with him. Um,
Yeah.
what did you think
So
of
yeah, it was good.
the ending, the setup for season 5?
Um, I thought it was very mysterious.
Hmm.
So just the way that these guys came into the diner where everybody was just eating their lunch, and with these little futuristic gizmos, and then the next scene is you've got up in a spaceship in the middle of the asteroid field. It's like
So is season 5
very
going to be
interesting.
Agents of Sword? Maybe. Huh?
Maybe that's. I think that could be what they're going for because
Either that or
with
they're in that negative
Infinity,
zone prison.
yeah, either that, yeah, but with the Infinity War coming down the line, you've got to think that they're going to try to tie all of that in because they try to do a little tie-in with key movies
Mhm.
throughout the series. Nothing like directly linking them, but towards a more cosmic scale with Infinity Wars coming in, I think yeah, that's a really good move for Agents of Shield because Earth is now there's no place for Shield on Earth right now,
Yeah.
and that's kind of a sucky thing. But there are cosmic threats that Agent Coulson and his help fend
I'm
off. So
I'm bummed out that Piper didn't go with them because
yeah,
she was just that other Shield agent over there who had probably
yeah,
6 lines in the entire show. But I found her really her first intro was like in the first episode or something. I was like, I want to see more of her. She's neat. And then she had some dialogue with Agent May. I'm like, oh, cool. She's going to be a character. And then she kind of disappeared through most of the season.
yeah,
And then she was on the ship with keeping Daisy and whoever Gemma plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah.
And then they're like, good thing Piper jumped out of the plane in a parachute. And it's like, okay, I guess she's out.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, they've got a good core cast, but they do need some fresh blood, and they're probably going to get it from wherever it is they are for season 5.
Yeah.
Or 4. Is it 5?
Yeah,
I forget
5.
how many seasons we're on.
This was 4,
Yeah.
so yeah, next one's 5, and which doesn't start until January, I believe they said. So it doesn't start in the
That
fall.
late?
It actually, yeah, it's starting in January instead of in the fall. So my guess is
Yeah, and they're moving it
probably
to
to
Friday
line it up
slot.
with something. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see. I
Well,
don't care when it airs on TV because I watch it on the internet. So on ABC's.
yeah. Well,
website.
they moved it to Friday, and they're going to do the Inhumans on Friday as well. So it's going to be.
They're gonna have them in the same block. You think?
Yeah, it's going to be Agents of Shield and then Inhumans. I think right after each other. So I believe it's like the hours. 9 and 10 if you're on the East Coast. But,
you think
I
she's
believe
on
that's
Walking Dead too? Who the actor who plays Piper? I haven't seen Walking Dead, so I don't know. But
yeah, I'm not sure. I can't picture Piper's face right now. I watched The Walking Dead as well, but
wearing a shield suit.
I'd have to look it up.
So, all right. Well, I think that's enough podcasting for the. Oh, what are your thoughts on Girls in Panzer? I don't know what that is, so I don't have any thoughts on it. Is it a show? It doesn't even. Let me Google real quick. See if Girls and Pan. This is going to bring up porn, isn't it? Well, it's a bunch of anime girls sitting on a tank. Let's see. 2012 Japanese anime television series. Okay, so yeah, it's an anime. I haven't seen it, so I have no opinion on it. So yeah. Okay, so that is our show for this week. Thanks everyone for watching. Speaking of anime, I'm reviewing the first episode of all the new anime shows for the spring 2017 season. At least the shows that are debuting on Crunchyroll. And I have, I think, like 7 more to go, something like that. I think 7. I have 5 in the bag, and 2 more to watch on Crunchyroll's calendar, I believe. So after I finish, I'll probably finish out the series with a show that talks about what shows I continued watching and what I think of them so far. Although I may have to do a special series on World Yami Kazan, or that really short form Tales from the Crypt like one, because I've been watching that one, and it's 4-minute episodes, and each one's a short horror story. Something you might see on a Tales from the Crypt episode. What I found interesting is, like the first episode that I reviewed on the debut review show, every single show does something to completely screw it up. Every single story, most of the stories actually have really good ideas, but do something that just destroys the entire thing. So I might actually do an entire series on every episode of the show if it keeps doing that. The first like 7 episodes have. So anyway, if you'd like to watch debut review, check out my YouTube channel. Just type my name, Andrew Eisen, Eisen, into YouTube, and you'll find it. Or if you type in debut review, you probably will come up with my. I didn't see if anyone else had ever used that title, so you might get someone else's videos. I don't know. And follow me on Twitter at Andrew Eisen. Zachary, plug away.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Easy Night, where I talk about game development, politics, and other interesting things. You can follow my game development work at DK_gaming and DivineKnightGaming.com. And if you're interested in the Oklahoma game development scene, check out OK Game Devs on Twitter and OKGameDev.com.
Oh crap! There's an actual YouTube channel called Debut Review. Debut Review is an informational channel bringing you everything you could want to know about solo, unit, and group K-pop. Okay, but there's only 35 subscribers and 17 videos, so I'm probably safe.
Probably.
Oh well. Sorry, whoever wrote. I guess I wasn't as clever with the title as I thought I was. Oh well. So, well, I mean, it's at least Molehill Mountain. I think we managed to be unique with. I don't think we found anyone else who's actually using that name.
Yeah, we had that a full list of names that we were thinking of, and yeah, I was Google searching every single one of them, and nothing came up for Molehill Mountain podcast. So
Yeah.
it's really good. Good choice there.
Yeah, nice. All right. Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Safe holiday weekend. If unless you live somewhere that doesn't have Memorial Day, then just have a lovely Monday, I guess. So thanks for watching. See y'all next week. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.